Hello, everyone. How are we? Hi. Oh my God, honey, I can't hear you.
How about now?
There you are, honey. Hi.
Hey, I'm Duke.
And I'm Marsha Whitehall. We are married, and welcome to Staying Relevant, the internet talk show where we try to catch up with our daughter Vivi. Not to brag, but she is in her sophomore year at Sarah Lawrence College.
She
So
recently blocked me on Instagram.
yes. I can't find her. I keep looking. I've typed in her name in every iteration I can muster, every iteration I can find. But I'm not seeing her. I am finding some other things on Instagram, but not her. Um,
She told me it was because I clapped between words on my comments.
yes,
I was leaving comments.
yes, you do. Duke loves emojis. He loves to tell a story with pictures. And that, for some reason, embarrasses Vivi. One thing we can sort of, honey, do you want to talk about the iteration or talk show, or do you mind if I do?
Oh, please do.
Okay, so over Christmas this year, Vivi came home. It's been her first time home since we dropped her off on Parents' Weekend freshman year. Kind of the first extended conversation we had with her since going to college.
Last Christmas, she learned to surf.
Yes, she's very active. If you guys met her, you'd really like her. She's really got a lot of, she was a part of the debate team for a long time. She taught herself to play the piano when she was 5. We bought her stickers that had the notes, and you put them right on the keys. And then in elementary school, honey, don't cry, honey. My husband doesn't have a creative bone in his body, and it really, really warms his heart whenever we talk about
just by ear, just the ivories by ear. Didn't even need the stickers.
Well, honey, she's pitch perfect because Duke used to make us listen to classical music when she was an infant. So when I was breastfeeding, up till all hours, 1 hour, 2 hours sleep a night, I just hear Beethoven just blaring through our lo-fi set in the living room.
Baby,
but it pays off. You can't teach someone to be pitch perfect. Did you know that, babe?
Yeah, I've tried. If it were possible, I'd be self-taught by now.
Yeah. Some people think you can learn it. They think they can memorize all the notes, but you can't unless you have sort of exposure to varying notes. It's too much to get into right now. I watched a documentary. I love documentaries, by the way. Vivi came home. So that's over Christmas, and she referred to us as dated. So we thought we'd put together a little show where each week we bring in youth ambassadors, and we have them help us just keep tabs on what's happening, what's going on, who's zooming who, what's the 411, if you'll say. And it's looking to be very informative. Are you excited, honey?
I am. I'm hoping to find out what a Charlie Puth is.
Yeah, who is that? I keep seeing videos, but I don't know what he's famous for.
He's always showing his waistband.
And he's always naked, and there's always what happened to his eyebrow?
No, see, that's a great question. Is it intentional or not?
Yeah, I don't. So one thing I have seen since I've been on Instagram is a lot of people shaving parts of their eyebrows off. Some people just shave a little line. Some people shave their initials. Some people leave a little stub just right here. They just have like a little period on their face.
Yeah. I always know when I need to go to the barber because I can see my eyebrows from the back.
You can. My poor Duke is, if you don't mind me saying, I know this goes onto the World Wide Web, Duke, but my husband has excessive body hair. Would you say, would he use excessive?
I'm learning to accept it and own it. And
I love it.
But yes, excessive is what the doctor said.
It was the first thing I noticed about you. So we met. We were both renting a timeshare, and the dates got mixed up. And next thing you know, I'm spending Christmas with an absolute stranger. It turns out to be the love of my absolute damn life.
That's the exact story I tell.
And I noticed your hair then. Even you were wearing a tank top, and it was shooting out of the back like almost like those feather things that they wear in those festivals in Brazil. I was like, well, that's a lot of hair. That's a man for me.
I looked like the king of a parade.
Now, before we get to our guests, honey, we did come up with a list last week of some of the things we were going to look into to make sure we're staying relevant. Have you had a chance to look into any of the things on that list?
I did. I spent about 72 hours watching clips from the Taylor Swift Eras tour, which just started. That tour has 44 songs.
Oh my God, how long is it? 3 hours?
It's like a road trip.
Oh.
It's like a spin class. 44 songs, front to back. It's not a medley, it's 44 songs.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like to go to a concert that we have to be outside all night, because you know those big ones, they're always outside. You're sitting on a hill.
I know. And then there's a part where she dives into the stage and she swims A to Z, just tip to tail in a dress.
Oh.
Anybody packing for camp or for a vacation, bring a dress you can swim in.
That makes me so nervous. I don't like when people dive into the crowds. I don't like it for either way. I don't like to worry about their health and what's going to happen if they're going to break. And I also don't like being forced to catch someone.
I don't like doing anything face first.
What's the last concert we went to? Fleetwood Mac?
Fleetwood Mac.
When they were touring with Stevie?
They were touring with Stevie. They had replaced Lindsay with who?
That man in those pants.
That man in those weird pants.
Where do you get pants like that? I don't understand. Honey, sometimes, okay, we're being discursive. Oh my God, we're talking about ourselves. That's not what we're here to do. We're here to talk about staying relevant and how we can keep up with pop culture, keep up with the things that we love. One of the things I did look into when we announced the show last week on Instagram, which I don't know if you guys know this, people you've never met can message you on Instagram. And they can write anything. They can send pictures. I'd advise not opening any pictures unless you know them.
Sometimes it is a sensual robot.
It's a sensual. Sometimes there's I had to make Duke start looking through them for me, because it's too much of an accosting of your eyes. But some of the things they sent in, they told me to look up a documentary on the Sarah Lawrence College, and turns out a couple years ago there was a cult there, babe. I didn't tell you because I know how you feel about cults.
I am easily swayed. I am easily indoctrinated. I'm easily swayed.
Easily swayed. If there's any sort of rewards membership at a retailer, if there's any punch card, even if it's somewhere. He collected a handful of punch cards I had to throw away when we were on our road trip to Las Vegas. I was like, honey, we're never going to be on Route 66 again. Why do we need these punch cards? And we're like, you never know. What if we go the same way back? What if there's something? You're so easily swayed, easily bought into a deal, easily brought into a cult.
I always want to know what the 11th is.
What the 11th? Yeah.
10 things and then the 11th.
And you also you like to have, you really like a payoff for what you've invested, Speaking of, you're a DJ, you are an internet DJ, you DJ on Zoom.
Yep, I Zoom DJ weddings. They don't have to be Zoom weddings. I do want to clear that up. That's been
you can plug your laptop right into a speaker and he'll DJ and it comes right through.
At least one guest will need to sign into the Zoom. So you'll need to have at least one charged phone. And then I'm good to go. And I also have 44 songs. So much like Taylor Swift.
Yeah. And he does all his own remixing. He takes the parts that are just the song, and he takes the parts that are just the beats, and he mixes and matches. You would be unbelievable, some of the magic that can be made through the internet.
Yeah, there's times when people want to raise their hands. There's times when people want to clap them.
There's times where people want to sit down, and there's times where people want to go to sleep. And my baby covers all of that. All right. So after doing a little bit of catch up, do you feel we're ready to introduce and meet our youth advisors for today's episode?
I do.
Oh, but before we go into this, I was looking around and I sent it to our producer, Val, who's on the call, but I did find a little picture of Vivi, and I just wanted to give people a little bit of it. Now, this is how I see Vivi in my eyes. This is how a mother sees her child always, but oh my God.
Just the apple of my...
There she is. She would
15
not...
years later, that person blocked me on Instagram, but still.
Yeah, if you can believe it. That little person, that little sweet angel right there. they get to a certain age and they stop having respect for you. It'll come back around, you know, they're finding their way, and then eventually they will find back to who you are, and they'll understand, you know, I hate you, mommy, and it becomes I love you, mommy, eventually. One thing she might not love that I'd share is she still has this in her dorm at Sarah Lawrence, that Mr. Bear. It was our house did burn down when she was in junior high, and it was the only thing she took. So she does have like an attachment to it.
She ran back in for it.
But she takes it with her, and it provides comfort. All right. Well, thank you. Let's everybody say goodbye to Vivi, and we'll start bringing in our youth ambassadors. Goodbye, Vivi. Oh, here we are. We have a wonderful panel of youth ambassadors. All these people here are affiliated with the wonderful Trident Network. Thank you so much, Trident Network, for letting us host this little show. I had to have my intern Daniel set everything up for me. So if anything goes haywire, he will be fired.
Blame Daniel.
I'm just kidding. It's so hard to fire somebody in the state of California. But we have everybody here who's some way involved with the Trident Network. They have their own shows, their own podcasts, their own thises, their own thatses. A very creative bunch of people who we're gonna bring them up one by one, and they're gonna kind of let us know what's happening. You know, what's the 411? What's going down in the street, as Vivi might say. And do you have anything before we get started, my love?
I'm interested in getting relevant and also staying relevant. So anything that anybody could teach me that's like laying a groundwork and then springing.
Exactly.
Laying and then springing, so that I could maybe throughout the week in between episodes.
Because one of the things that my beautiful beloved, my hubby, the apple of my eye, one of the few things that we start noticing is right when we learn something, it's not cool anymore. I really, really started getting into that Weekend song. Turns out nobody listens to The Weekend right now. It's all about flowers, which is why I brought this here today. All right. Well, let's turn it over to our first guest. You know, I would love to bring up fresh face, somebody who's just on cam with us. I'd love to bring up Em. Hello, Em.
Hello, it's so nice to see you. Thank you for learning for your child. That's something not all parents do.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. See? So Em, we want to leave it open to you. First, we want you to tell us a little bit about your show on the Trident Network, because we like we said, getting relevant, staying relevant. We want to stay with you, and we want to keep learning with you. So tell us a little bit about your show, and then tell us a little bit about what you want to, bring us up to speed on today.
Absolutely. I host the Witching Hour on Trident Network. If your daughter goes to Sarah Lawrence, I think they're probably going to get into tarot and astrology, and that's what we talk about. It's a great icebreaker, and you can throw up buzzwords and the kids will be like, oh, they know what's going on. So Definitely recommend that. And I was actually going to talk about flowers today, if that's okay. And generally, the Miley Liam saga, it's piping hot.
Yes, we would. So before we get started, I know that Miley is the daughter of Billy Ray Cyrus.
Correct. Yes.
And I do know that she's on the Disney Channel, or she was.
She was on the Disney Channel famously as with Billy Ray Cyrus in Hannah Montana, and
so playing herself.
Playing herself and playing like a heightened version of herself, basically. Yeah.
Oh, so she was wearing high heels. She was taller.
She was taller. She was wearing high heels, and she became famous from that. And that's how and then being famous, she met other famous person, Liam Hemsworth, Chris Hemsworth's brother, who's very attractive.
Oh, the Hemsworths. Honey. Oh, we know him. What's he in? We were just watching something with him in it.
He was in that picture. He saw like a groundhog or a gopher or something, and he had his boot right up by the camera.
Groundhog's Day, right?
Oh my God, who is that? And that's
Groundhog's Day's Bill Murray.
Bill Murray. I love Bill Murray.
We love Bill Murray.
I love SNL. That's who I love. Oh my God.
SNL, Chris Hemsworth hosted SNL. Liam Hemsworth has not. And Miley Cyrus has. So Miley, and I think that's
so wait. Why can't Liam host it?
People don't like the way, I think, part of the tea is that he cheated on Miley Cyrus several times. And was very mean and rude to her. There's a famous red carpet event where he told her to calm down.
By the way, anybody listening, ladies love when you tell them to calm down. Ladies love when, yeah. Let me be, if I'm mad, let me be mad. Babe, tell them about the time I lost it in that food mall, that food shopping court in the Mall of America.
We were in a food court of the Mall of America?
The food court of the Mall of America, America's Mall.
Yeah.
My beloved ordered a curly fry, and they said all we have are steak fries. And she said, but the menu says, and this person said to my wife, ma'am. And we knew what was coming.
So from there, it was over because multiple reasons. One, don't advertise something you don't have. Two, people who like curly fries know that curly fries and steak fries are very different. They're spicy. Curly fries are always spicy. That's the rule, you know? And I want something that's hits the back of my neck.
Yeah.
And then you're going to bring up my age. You're going to talk down to me as though I don't know how to read the sign. The sign's right behind you. Close for the day. Take the day off.
Yeah. And that's probably how Miley felt when Liam told her to calm down, which is why in her new music video for a breakup song that she released on his birthday, no mistake, she is wearing, people think, the suit that he was wearing when he said that.
Now, I will say, honey, I do love to put on your suits. I think I look good in a men's. The shoulder pads really make me look more petite. Not that I need to, but or not that that's what it's about, but it does create a shape.
You look good squared up.
I look good squared up. You would never cheat on me, right, baby?
Not a thought.
Not a thought.
Not a whisper, not a speck of dust, of a hair, of a breath.
If you want to show them that you're really like up to date, really, Miley wore the suit blazer with nothing underneath it, which I think is a pretty hot look. So you could rock that, and then just from looking at you, they'd know that you're relevant.
We watched the Oscars, and every other person was showing full sternum.
Full sternum.
Mm-hmm.
I said, and you know what? Look, I am here to stay relevant. Don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. I am here to be a part of the conversation. I'm here to move forward. Some people need bras. Some people need the support of a bra. You know, my sister Janice wears a sports bra every day. If she's going to wear a gown, it has to incorporate a sports bra.
Even in the back of, like, you'd have the sports bra strap on the back if it's a strap.
Oh yeah, she really feels supported with them. She doesn't really like it. So the idea of being able to see someone's sternum, the idea of being able to go braless on an event, you have so much to worry about. I personally, it couldn't be me. If that's where fashion is going, count me out. I will wear the suit with a button-up shirt underneath it. Thank you very much.
That is a really good point, that Miley is very privileged in a lot of ways, not the least of which is that she does not have to wear a bra. So she's going through drama, but she's a very privileged person. That is important to remember too.
I just can't believe you would cheat on somebody like Miley Cyrus. How about you? Like,
if I was the other Hemsworth, I would cool it in general. I would just I would do everything right.
Oh, there's two other Hemsworths actually. There's three Hemsworth brothers. The youngest Hemsworth nobody really knows about. He was in Westworld. And Chris Hemsworth is probably the alpha, and Liam wishes that he was, but he's the beta.
Okay, what?
To me, Liam is like that man we saw with Fleetwood Mac. He's just there in pants.
All pants.
Lucky to know the others.
Yeah, you have to decide your personality by the things you wear.
Yes. I would agree. Are you talking about Lindsey Buckingham? What are you?
Mm-hmm.
Buckingham is gone.
Gone.
There's
gone?
another man.
There's a different one. They said his full name over the loudspeaker, but nobody wrote it down. Em, one final question before we move on to our other guests. You mentioned a term that we're hearing a lot. We're hearing a lot on Instagram. We're seeing it a lot. And it was alpha.
Okay, yeah.
What does that mean?
I think alpha is going to be like the most traditionally masculine you can be without being toxic. And that can be in whatever gender. Like, I think it's just a masculine energy is what I get. And like leader, in charge, getting shit done.
Yeah.
Everything that Liam Hemsworth is not.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I definitely would consider myself an alpha, wouldn't you, babe?
Oh, you absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Always.
I would say I'm an alpha. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Em. Thank you so much. Can we shout out your podcast or your show one more time, please?
Yes, absolutely. The Trident Network, Mondays on the Witching Hour, Mondays on the Trident Network. Thank you so much. You too.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Em. Now, how are we doing on time? Should we speed it up a little bit, or are we coasting just perfect?
You've got about half an hour left.
It's more time than we need. Thank you so much, Val. Why don't we introduce Amanda? Why don't we bring Amanda up to the forefront? Hi, Amanda.
Amanda, hello.
Thanks for having me.
Hi, Amanda. How are you?
I am excellent. How are you?
We love that. We are excellent. We're doing well as well. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your show and a little bit about what you've come to make us relevant on today?
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, look at that. I happen to be wearing merch for my show. My podcast is called Inconceivable. It is a narrative 5-part series. The first season is up now. Wherever you can find your podcast. It is loosely / 100% based on my experiences with infertility. And you can, and it's funny, like it gets real, but it's funny because a lot of funny shit happens.
You have to laugh.
You have to
laugh. Don't let anybody tell you you're not allowed to laugh anymore because you have to laugh.
You don't have to answer to anybody but yourself.
Amen. And like, I'm going to have to like get on the witching hour so I can hear that healing. Aries season starts tomorrow. As an Aries, I need all of that. Yeah. And so I still don't have kids, don't plan on it at this point. But I'm a very involved aunt, and I read to my now there's 3 nieces and a nephew. So there's a lot of children in my life. So does your daughter, does she babysit? Does she read books? At Sarah Lawrence, I think they've got to read a lot of books there.
She's a voracious reader.
Yeah.
Throughout high school, she was a nanny for a very, very wealthy family.
Yeah, rich.
Obscene.
Rich.
Yeah.
Turnabout in the driveway, rich.
Amazing. Want that.
Vacation home rich.
Probably has like Beauty and the Beast library with the ladder that you can just kind of slide across, first edition. Wow. Yeah. There are people who want to ban books and take away children's books because they think they're too woke. If they talk about things like, that gay people exist or that racism exists. And also, I've been reading some books I'll call them nibblings. Let's just have we need a better gender neutral term for nieces and nephews. Paw Patrol, okay, that's just like pro-police state propaganda, So there's books on all sides. And I think, parents can decide what, books they want to read for their kids or whatever. But it's not about the individual stuff.
If any person on the face of this earth came up to me as a mother or honey, you as a father, and told them we weren't in charge of what our daughter read, I would be in the state penitentiary right now.
I would say, honey,
I would have gone off the way I went off on that man at Sbarro's whenever I didn't get those curly fries. I would have absolutely been escorted from the premises, but my daughter would be better for it.
She could read when she was 4 years old.
She was 4 years old. And you know what? We didn't control anything she read. She was allowed to read whatever she wants. We thought, if you can read, what a privilege, read it.
Yes. Oh my God. I was such a nerd. Look, I've got glasses. Okay. I'm a big reader. I'm a big nerd. I would read remember the TV Guide? I know I'm a youth expert here, but I still remember reading like Reader's Digest.
True story.
I'd read anything.
True story. Reader's Digest, I think, was the only thing my dad read for 10 years. That's besides the point. You brought up a good word here. And we're seeing a lot of words on the internet that we don't quite know yet, and that is woke.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, do I hear that term a lot.
Yeah.
I've been asking around to the people using it. None of them can define it.
That is, you are staying relevant, because that was some discourse, this past weekend, because that came up in a court case about banning books, I believe. And basically defined woke as admitting that structural racism exists in America and wanting to do something about it. So you'll see, especially in states like Florida is probably the biggest one, Texas.
Oh, God, don't even bring up Florida. We were having such a good time. Don't bring up Florida. I can't.
I know. And it's happening in Illinois too. I actually, this is going to also kill my cred. I live in the suburbs, and there have been challenges at libraries and schools all around the Chicagoland area. So you think that, we're blue, we're in a blue state, we're fine. There's an election coming up, and it's for library and school boards that everyone needs to pay attention and hashtag stay woke.
So wait, outside of the city of Chicago, there are people who want to ban books that, I guess from your description of woke, are about reality.
Yeah. I mean, I think it is Florida now. Oh my gosh, Judy Blume, this whole thing. She tweeted, "Sorry, Margaret," because now Florida wants to it starts with the content in books and it becomes people, right? So you're seeing, bans on like basically existing.
They're banning Judy Blume.
They're going to ban talking, again, it's like age appropriate, like sex, whatever. They want people to not talk about their periods if they're like in third grade or younger, which like, oh my God, listen to my podcast. It's all about vagina stuff because again, it's hilarious. It's like, we need to demystify it. Like women's health, women's bodies in general, and everything that happens to it. Oh my God. Relevant to that too. It's like our maternal death rate is abysmal. So we have to be talking. It starts with periods and it goes to, again, like maternal death rate. So it's all connected. I know I'm going on tangents, but you got to stay relevant.
You have to. First of all, every single person should be able to talk about their period. Who cares? Men talk about shitting themselves every single day. My husband has these friends. They come over. When do they come over? Tuesdays?
Every Tuesday at 5. We make from 5 to 6, and then dinner is a hard out at 6 o'clock. So they go.
And it's not that they're bad people. It's not that they're bad guys, but they just don't understand. They're so self-unaware. All they do is talk about burping and farting and noises and fluids. God forbid somebody talk about one period that happens every month for women. For, by the way, most of the population. God forbid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we all survived the early 2000s male humor in movies. That was essentially just fart jokes. So yeah, it's
and a lot of dance scenes. Well, did you ever notice that? Movies in the mid-2000s would break out in a dance number in a song for no reason. I said, this is Charlie's Angels. What are we doing?
The lights are on in the theater and everybody's dancing still.
Barf me out. Okay.
Yeah.
This reminds me, one of our heroes, Mr. Rogers, Mr. Fred Rogers, said, if it is mentionable, it is manageable. And so there's nothing that we can't talk about.
Yeah.
It's all about access. It's all about, it's about censorship. They're trying to make this about specific things to debate, like what age we should talk about certain things. It's not about that. It's about access to public entities like libraries and public school. And if you privatize these things, you get to control what is read and what is shared. So we have to keep our public institutions alive. So vote April 4th.
Yeah. And I think it goes without saying. The only people who are trying to ban books are people who don't read them. When's the last time you heard somebody who was banning a book that you're like, oh my goodness, that's where I get all my recommendations from?
I never heard anybody ban a book that previously I thought, what a bookworm. What a voracious reader.
Oh, well, Amanda, I know it's a downer topic, but thank you so much for keeping us informed. Vote in your elections everywhere you go. Because if somebody's trying to ban something, guess what? It's the most fun thing in the room. Okay? Reading is fun.
Ban the banners.
Ban the ban. Amanda, you really should sell merch. You really should sell merch. You have that. Our daughter, God bless her. She didn't get the creative side of the family like I did. You know what I mean? She got her father's genes. She's not creative. And I always tell her, she writes this blog. And between you and me, if there's anything that should be banned, it should be my daughter's blog. I mean, it's rambling. We're not talking a lot of stuff. Honey, what was her last topic that she brought up earlier this week?
It was about buccal fat.
Yeah, people trying to get their cheeks sucked out of their face. I was like, what are you going to look like? You're going to look like... Have you ever seen The Crypt Keeper? That's apparently the look. I said, keep my chubby cheeks as long as I want. They're going to fill me out until I'm 70. Oh, anyway, thank you so much, Amanda, for being on the podcast. One more time for your show, and when can we catch it and where will be?
Yes, so we're on hiatus currently, but you can keep up at Inconceivable Pod on Instagram. Since you're looking at Instagram, I do talk about some of the books that I read, my nibblings with Aunt Amanda reviews, and so I talk about all that content. But Inconceivable on the Trident Network.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Amanda. Now, we're going to bring up two people at once to talk to us. A twofer.
That's a deal.
That is a deal, honey. I am a little bit of a bargain shopper. I mean, we were only supposed to have 5 people here, but I talked to Val and I said, hey, what if we could get 2 for 1?
Is there a bump?
Yeah. And she did. I could see she's a little upset because she did have to reformat the entire episode and the entire show. But we thank her for that because, life is about compromise.
Yeah.
I'd love to bring up
Costco.
Louise and Audrey. Welcome, Louise and Audrey.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are we?
We're good.
Oh my God, that's so nice. Now tell us a little bit about your show and what you're here to talk to us about today. Because, let me spoiler alert really quick. While we think it's okay to stay relevant and we think that it's important to keep up with the times, we also think it's important to remember your history, right? So Louise and Audrey here are going to talk to us a little bit about something we might know, honey. This might be in our wheelhouse.
Yeah, so me and Audrey, we do a little podcast together called the Gone But Not Forgotten podcast. And ironically, for 2 youth advisors, it is mainly about people from the past. Just celebrities, actors that have died before their time, and we like to change the narrative on them and make people remember them for who they were and not how they died.
Oh, that's so nice because the moment something awful happens, everybody wants to focus on the horrible thing.
Yeah.
That's all they care about. What's selling, what's pushing headlines, what's getting clicks, as they say. So who have you brought to talk to us about today?
Well, we wanted to talk about Natalie Wood because she's an actor we covered in previous episodes, but we feel like she still doesn't really get the recognition that she deserves.
I mean, I will never forget that. Honey, I don't know about you. I will never forget the first time I saw Natalie Wood. I was a child, and there was a picture of this gorgeous woman laying beside a pool. And I thought, that is who I want to look like when I grow up. I took a different route, but she's still gorgeous nonetheless. And she's so talented. People don't know that she's talented. Wouldn't you agree?
Mine was Rebel Without a Cause. She was on the right side. She said, no. Bullies get out.
Bullies get out. Now, wasn't she a child actress first?
Mm-hmm. She started at the age of 7. So she basically grew up within Hollywood, which is not really a good place to grow up in.
No, that poor Drew Barrymore. I mean, she's doing good now. I keep seeing her on Instagram. Crawling on the knees and crying in front of her guests. That I don't know about, but I like her nonetheless. But it's hard. It's hard growing up in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So now, as people have studied Natalie Wood and people have talked about Natalie Wood, what do you think? What are her shining accomplishments to you? What do you think people should say when they hear the words Natalie Wood? What should come to their mind?
I think it should be style icon. Like her Edith Head looks top tier. Me and Audrey are obsessed with them. Like, we've got all our favorite little parasol outfits. Everything she wears is a look. And yeah, like, I wish I could have my wardrobe completely stylized by hers.
Stunning, gorgeous. Absolutely, you are 100% right. Because, you know, I get it, dress for comfort, but also every once in a while, put a little pep in your step, put a little shine on your behind. You know what I mean? Every day I get up, I put on a woman's blazer. People treat me different. People treat me different in a blazer.
I also feel like she should be remembered for being nominated for multiple Oscars. So like you said, I feel like she's not really known as much for being so talented. But she really did redefine acting, I think, for people of her age.
Yeah. Now, of all of her performances, what do you think is your favorite? Which one do you gravitate towards the most?
Well, we've got kind of different ones, haven't we? Because I love Love with the Proper Stranger. And I don't know how Audrey feels about that one.
No, I do. I like that one, but I also like Sex and the Single Girl.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Now I've heard a lot about both of these films. And you know the other thing that I know about Natalie? It's that she was a person of substance. That's everything I've ever heard about her, is that she knew what she wanted, she had strong beliefs, and she stuck by those beliefs. Is that wrong?
No, so right. She
am I mixing her up with Dolly Parton again?
Easy mistake. No, Natalie was so good. She championed for equal pay against a lot of her male actors, which is still something that like happens today, like women not getting paid enough. So it's just very influential to see. I love it.
It's unbelievable. You know, I did just find out that Zendaya, you know, honey, Vivi loves Zendaya. She talks about Zendaya all the time. She buys things because Zendaya buys them. She loves this girl. This girl is taking the world by storm. She is the first actress to be paid $1 million per episode of something. I just saw this on Instagram. It's in the feeds. You know, if you click down at the bottom of those buttons and you go to the one, it just shows you a bunch of things that quick. And every time you touch in a direction, it goes in a different direction. Well, I found out she gets paid $1 million. She's like the first actress to ever do that. But the list of men out of control.
Forever.
People you'd pay to get rid of are getting paid millions of dollars to show up on your TV screens. Can't stand it. When are we going to be done with Kevin James? When is Kevin James had enough? I'm sure he's a wonderful person, and I'm sure people love him. But it's enough. You're rich as hell. Get out of here. Oh, so.
I love when you soapbox.
It means I need to take my pills. It's 4:00. I start to wind down. My symptoms get more.
I have a quick Natalie Wood question. We're seeing so many biopics. I feel like every year at the Oscars, there's 10 more biopics. If we had a Natalie Wood biopic and you could cast it, you would probably have to cast more than one actress since she was working and famous at so many different ages.
We did a little segment on our Natalie episode where we did cast for biopics. I went for Lily Collins. Great little brunette look. You know, she can pull it off. It's the one that I gravitate towards the most.
Now, Lily Collins, what's she in?
Emily in Paris. It's like the main one. I have not seen it, but...
Oh.
She's Phil Collins' daughter.
Wow. How exciting. You know, it must be so rare. It must be so rare that you were in the industry and you have a baby and that baby wants to do what you did, so they get in the industry. I really like that.
I bet that hardly ever happens.
I bet that's so rare, because you must think they grow up in the industry and they see the ugly side of it. They don't see the glamour side, so they don't want to do it. You know, they want to be astronauts or physics or CEOs or firefighters.
Wedding DJs.
Exactly. So it's so nice that, you know, every once in a while one sneaks in.
It's cute.
It's kind of cute. I wish more would.
Ah.
Yeah. All right. Now, did Lily Collins take the cake? Was that a unilateral decision, or do we have some other suggestions?
I went with Natalie's daughter, Natasha, and I think it's because they bear a very uncanny resemblance.
Is Natasha an actress as well?
Yeah, she mostly just acted in the 90s. I don't think she's really doing anything anymore.
Well, bring her back. Everybody comes back. Yeah. Brendan Fraser, huh? Oh my God. Babe, do you mind telling him how you reacted when you saw him win that Oscar the other day?
I threw my phone out the window.
He threw his phone right into the lake. It went out the window into the lake.
Were you upset?
I'm happy for him that he's back and that he's happy. But I don't think everybody needs a trophy to be happy.
No. He had other choices. He really loved that Elvis movie. And he really likes that guy's voice. He thinks it's charming. But, I'm happy to see him back. I love for them to do a Mummy nomination. I would see it. Keep it going. Now, before we wrap up, is there any other Natalie Wood fun facts that we should share with our audience so that when Natalie Wood is brought up in conversation, they know this is what you need to remember? Not only did she champion equal pay, not only is she a phenomenal actress, not only is she a style icon, is there maybe one or two more things that we can add to that list so that so while we stay relevant, the kids can wake up?
Oh, tell everyone she was a great singer.
Oh yeah, she could
Beautiful
sing.
Voice.
She sang?
Yeah.
She also dated Elvis very briefly.
Honey, Elvis. We're gonna have an Elvis and Natalie Wood night.
Yeah.
Ooh, we'll watch a Natalie Wood movie, and then in between each movie, we'll watch that Elvis movie again.
You could watch movies that Elvis is in. We also covered some on our podcast.
Elvis was in movies?
Yeah, remember one that was called Cocoa Nuts.
What was it called, honey?
Cocoa Nuts.
That was Elvis?
That was Elvis.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Louise and Audrey. It's been so, but keep doing the good work. As we try to stay relevant, you keep the kids up to date with who they should have already done known. All right?
Thank you.
And we have two more people to meet today. Can we please bring Anjali up? Hello, Anjali.
Welcome to the stage.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much to the Trident Network. I'm a up-and-coming podcast host for the Trident Network, soon to be premiering my TV review podcast. So I'm very excited to be here to talk about what's relevant in TV today. So thank you.
Well, before we get into what's relevant to TV, babe, let's talk about some of the things we're watching. You tell us if these are, because I think we when it comes to TV, I think we're pretty hip, if I do say so myself. So I love NCIS. I love Blue Bloods.
Property.
I love all the Chicagos, Chicago Fire, Chicago MD, Chicago PD, Chicago GED. I know it only aired once in the pilot and it didn't, but I thought it had, some of those actors could have been really good.
Wow, I'm surprised. I'm not familiar with Chicago GED. I would love to hear more. Tell me about what is this? Yeah, what is this show? I'm surprised I don't know.
Oh my God, who was in it, honey? It was
It was one of those angry men from Steppenwolf.
Oh, sure. Yep, we know them well. Mm-hmm.
John Malkovich. Present day John Malkovich was getting a GED for Pride out of anything. He had been a millionaire, but he had retired. He didn't know what he was going to do, and the one thing that he always wished he had was his GED. So he goes back to get the GED, and of course he's going. And there's colorful characters. And I think the reason it didn't work is because it was a full Office-inspired sitcom, and in the same universe as Chicago MD, Chicago PD, Chicago Fire. So it was the crossover episodes would probably be difficult, but
got it. So it's like Community meets Chicago PD, Med, etc.
You are a TV expert. Oh, wow.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, got it. And so we're looking at like we're looking at like insufferable Joel McHale meets, John Malkovich.
Yeah, something's not right with him.
Inscrutability. Yeah, this is
what is wrong with Joel McHale?
So many things.
Honey, we used to watch this show. This is probably for your time. We used to watch this show called The Soup.
Yeah.
And in The Soup,
as did many of us, yeah.
Joel McHale would just bring people up pictures of him, and he would just point and laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honey, that used to really make you upset because you're very sensitive to bullying.
I threw my phone out the window.
I can't tell you how many phones I am on Verizon iPhone 14. My husband, Cricket Mobile, and just whatever has the heaviest kerplunk when it hits the lake.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're not investing in new phones every time. It's a review. You have to learn from your habits.
It's fine. That's fine. And that's the kind of emotion that someone like Joel McHale evokes. And I don't blame you. But here we are. We are in a moment in television where he is on a currently airing Fox TV show called Animal Control. He also is in the last season of Stargirl, which is like a DC HBO project.
Yeah, what's going on over there at DC?
He's everywhere. DC is a mess.
Yeah.
And here we are, in this moment of chaos. So.
Can I ask you, what is the show with the mushrooms?
Yes.
People?
Yeah, thank you for asking.
The people that are like fungal.
They're turning into mushrooms, yeah.
Yeah, this is important. I'm so glad you asked. I think that this is something, if your daughter's not watching it, absolutely, her friends are watching it. Certainly everyone else in America is watching it. But yes, The Last of Us, which is a HBO series that is based off of a celebrated, award-winning video game called The Last of Us. And the basic premise is that 20 years into a post-apocalyptic America setting where a fungal outbreak has transformed most people into violent fungus persons, a man named Joel is tasked with guiding a young woman named Ellie across the country to a research facility where she may or may not be the cure for this viral outbreak.
Okay.
Aren't there real popular, y'all?
It just seems like everything now is so complicated, when we turn on NCIS, I know a crime's going to happen at the beginning. We're going to talk about it for a while, and the crime is going to get solved.
Minute 51.
That's what I like. But now I gotta play a video game, and then they're vegetarian zombies made out of mushrooms.
This is true. Yeah.
And is this his baby? Is the cure?
Well, and so the premise of the series is that we as an audience grow to love these characters, and we grow to become invested in their bond as they struggle through this post-apocalyptic wasteland that is America and fight these violent fungus zombies. Wow. It's I can understand, why, certain folks might not find it particularly appealing.
Okay. No need to be condescending, actually. We could get behind it if we wanted to. We'll figure it out. We'll give it a shot. We'll let you know. And I hate to cut you off short because I'm sure you have. Huh?
We'll pop a Claritin first.
Oh, actually, you know what? That sounds delicious. Thank you, actually, Anjali, for that. Right? I wasn't thinking about it through the lens of a Claritin. A Claritin is really, sometimes when I can't get into something because it's a little too much, I'll take a little bit of allergy medicine and then I'll watch it, and it's like all of a sudden I'm getting connections. I have a good 45 minutes, so I hope the opposite. Yeah. Now, sir, before we move on to sir one, is there any other shows that you would recommend? Any other things we should see even outside of this wonderful?
Yeah, you know, I will say that like because kind of piggybacking on the success of The Last of Us, or rather maybe in reverse, piggybacking on the success of The Mandalorian, the star of both The Mandalorian and The Last of Us is the internet daddy, Pedro Pascal.
Now I'm in. Okay, Anjali, you should have led with that. On my Instagram, all I see are videos. Do you know him, babe?
Do
you know Pedro Pascal?
Everybody else who's hairy.
Oh man, he's just so He's charming, Anjali, huh?
Yeah, and I mean, he has self-identified as the internet's daddy. Has self-identified as can just play so many roles, nurturing, authoritative, humble.
Ooh, okay. Okay. So we have our Sunday planned. Okay, thank you, Anjali. Now where can we find your show again? When is it coming out? You're new to the network.
I'm new to the network. I will be doing a TV review podcast, much like what we just discussed. Analyses, critiques, reviews, etc., interviews with folks who are experts around certain facets of television and streaming viewing, and launch date TBA.
Okay.
And also name of the podcast TBA. So more
follow
soon.
The Trident Network.
Yes, on the
follow the Trident. Well, thank you so much, Anjali. It was so great to meet you.
Thank you so much.
All right, we are down to the wire. We're down to our final guest. Let's welcome to the show, Jesse. Hello, Jesse.
Well, hey there. It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, tell us a little bit about your show. Tell us a little bit about what you've come here to keep us relevant on.
Sure. So much like Anjali, I'm also new to the Trident Network. My show is also to be titled and to be announced, but a little bit about me. I think I'm in the middle ground between where your daughter might be and where you two might be. So hopefully I can be a bit of a bridge. I am also a parent of a young child. I have an 8-year-old. So I'm also trying to stay relevant. Yes.
Oh, Jesse, it's a wonderful age. Enjoy it now. When they hit 13. Let me put it this way: you're in due for a roommate you never planned on. All right, they turn into a different person. But enjoy it now. 8 is wonderful. What's your baby's name?
Her name is Lucia, and she is great, but I hear ya. I'm waiting for that other shoe to drop.
Well, we're very excited to meet her. So you're here to talk. What are you here to talk to us about?
Well, like I mentioned, right? I'm constantly trying to stay on what's hip, what's poppin'. So something that came across my news feed quite a bit in the last few weeks is this internet feud or beef between Selena Gomez and Hailey Bieber.
Oh, honey. Oh, our daughter was talking about this the last time she came over for dinner. She couldn't shut up about this. Who are these people?
The eyebrows. The eyebrows.
Eyebrows. What's going on with the eyebrows? Tell us what's going on with the eyebrows.
What is going on with the eyebrows? Apparently, Selena Gomez got her eyebrows, some process done, and then Hailey and all of her mean girl friends started shading her about it. And a lot of what's happening between the two of them involves the word shading. There's a lot of shading taking place.
Wow. Well, we do watch RuPaul's Drag Race, so I do know what that means.
We know about
shading. I do know.
Oh, you had both mentioned that you wanted us to give you terms, right? So
yes.
In an earlier segment when we were talking about children of famous celebrities, there's actually a term I wanted to share with you. It's called Nepo baby. And it's when a famous person gives their child access to the industry and they use their privilege for a platform of fame. Nepo baby.
That's so cute when that happens.
I love that. I
terrible.
love that.
Once in a blue moon.
I love it. Because, life is about the connections you make and making people, inviting people in. That's what life's about. And now that you're a parent, you know that better than anybody. If I could give my baby a job anywhere, I'd give my baby a job immediately. So are some of these, so is this feud full of people who are...
Well, Hailey Bieber, I mention it because Hailey Bieber is, from what I can tell, is primarily famous because she's married to Justin Bieber, but is also the daughter of Stephen Baldwin.
Of all the Baldwins, it's Stephen.
The Liam of Baldwins.
Hey, that is good. Write that down. We'll tell that to Tara whenever we go over for tacos tomorrow. That's funny. So, you know who they need a documentary on? Alec Baldwin. That person has lived a life. Something's up. Something is up. Something's wrong. The call's coming from inside the house with Alec Baldwin. So they're bullying poor Selena Gomez, who I do know because she's also on my Instagram feed. She's also everywhere I go. I see her pictures. I hear her songs on the radio. And I like her songs because her songs, she just repeats the chorus a bunch and it's so easy to learn.
It's so easy to DJ.
Yes, you are. I mean, my hubby, don't get it twisted. My husband is a huge Selena Gomez fan. He's probably the biggest Selena Gomez fan I know, music-wise at least.
We watched her roasted chicken on HBO.
That's Selena Gomez. Oh, they did look alike. Okay, that makes sense. So they don't like her eyebrows? What process did she have done to her eyebrows? I hope she didn't do that thing where they get a tattoo under the eyebrows, but then as you age, you do lose facial hair. And the tattoo is going to be there. So you just have to, I mean, if you're okay with it, it's fine. But, you do have to be prepared.
I don't know about the process, but from what I can gather, there's this weird timeline around when Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber were dating, because they've dated for a long time. And then they broke up, and then Hailey and Justin got married, I think about maybe 6 months after Justin and Selena were last seen dating one another. So the speculation.
How do you find a venue that fast?
Yeah.
I think it was over Zoom. I don't know.
Connections, I'm sure. I'm sure they're connected in the industry. All of these people have it. I'm sure one of their parents is a wedding venue builder. Oh, God. And you know what? I can't believe that they're being made fun of for eyebrows. That is so, I mean, being a kid today is just so awful. I mean, my heart goes out to your baby girl. I mean, the things they see on the internet, you're making fun of people's eyebrows. When I was a kid, people would just try to drown you in a toilet and then move on with the day. You know what I mean? You're done. It's done. You don't have to live with it. It doesn't follow you home where you go and your eyebrows and what you said. Eyebrow and here, and I'm so sorry. I know we're supposed to say irrelevant, but every once in a while, some parents need to come in and they need to set some ground rules. Let me tell you something. Your eyebrows are patches of hair that grow above your eyes to catch the sweat. That is what they're there for. Okay, so if you got thin eyebrows, you got one eyebrow, you got two, you got three, whatever. Just everybody shut up about it. Oh,
I'm the one with three eyebrows. That's why she.
Yeah. He does have two separate. At first, I thought they were one. There's two separate, and then there is a bald space, and then one more right in the middle.
Yeah.
But I love it, honey, and I wouldn't change a thing. Well, thank you all so much to all of our youth advisors. Thank you for being here and keeping us relevant. I swear we'll try to learn all the things that you've said, but if we forget some of them, we'll have you back in the future. Right?
Yeah,
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. And Val, is there anything we should be plugging before we wrap up this beautiful time together?
Yeah, stay tuned to see a sketch from one of our sketch teams, and then coming up after that will be an episode of Pilot Season hosted by Ryan Burkett, who is not currently on this stream, but will be there later.
I've seen a picture of him. He's cute, though.
He's
really cute. I will say. I mean, there's a lot of cute people on the internet, but that one, something about him really caught my eye. All right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in to Staying Relevant. Goodbye, honey.
Goodbye, honey.